Pato, Masi.
Yo, Bacho na ho ye de.
I was a boko. Even though your mail, after I said, which more official part, but this is the first time in the
Yes, this is the first time. This is the first time. See, yeah, that's as far as I know. Pay what you say. Only be di enkomo. Osi any bro.
La, what me official part of the bro na dey. Anya say you be sha oport.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. When you are that Roma and dra, asemi sha say nyina about 5 cases and akọ Supreme Court. Edi afa asemi ho. Ni nyina ansana endra de ba kono ye hu say lawyer bi ene ko see Chief Justice anemu wo Supreme Court. Ansana endra ye hu say mo file a new case. This one a case Chief Justice no na file a on Sasha say the kind fire film a dear na mo secure court.
About 4 sets of reliefs. The relief thing about 16, but they're all in about 4 categories. The first set of reliefs, is about 4. I think they all relate to the citizens' rights, a public hearing. The pattern of the Constitution, Article 146, will direct that such proceedings should be in camera. To say, I said, a demo. He said, will be only a person, the public should not know what is going on. But since we are sure, the case I buy like a science so far, the abandon of war at the details the petition out. Like I said, some time ago, some agency was on radio, TV, everywhere, talking about the petition, the contents of the petition, what the president did, and justifying why, in his view, it was right. Say, the case is just there's a case for her to answer. Various aspects of the proceedings have already been public. That's to start with. Secondly, even before opinion publish this, 52% of the people in the nation want the Chief Justice out. I didn't know say Chief Justice position every day they say they determine whether the Chief Justice is popular or not popular.
In fact, there's a new one. Cry say a percentage of Ghanaians has supported the suspension of the Chief Justice. There's a new pool. No,
it will be occupied officer, Speaker of Parliament, and Chief Justice. Not every month. A month for a post that you have to be suspended. I mean, is that the basis for determining whether the Chief Justice will stay in office or to go? What is happening in Ghana? It's unprecedented. Seriously. Indeed, that's the case. And I say, the people almost based on that, Chief Justice. Then let's say it in a way that the whole nation will know. And which are constitutional, apart from Article 146, every other provision on hearing of the matter, whether in court or before a committee, requires that such a hearing should be in public. Commission of Inquiry and proceedings from Article 278 onwards. Article 281 stipulates that yes, such proceedings should be in public. And it is only on grounds of public safety or other or risk of harm to public safety or other. There's a proceedings here in camera. Same thing. Article 19, Clause 13, also adjudicating authority in your court. Into the first in your court, the proceedings should be in public. So we say that the spirit of the Constitution, as in Constitution, they are interpreted. Now go American Constitution say, American Constitution had more, very few articles. Yet, American Supreme Court now they be omitted say, oh, even though Constitution is just a one line for the provision on this issue, no, it doesn't mean say no pay. Say. Now Supreme Court every now and then, even last week, they gave some orders against President Trump, all because of how they interpreted the American Constitution. And they were saying that it's about time we interpreted Article 146. Now, come to the determination whether indeed sub provisional it excludes public hearing. In my view, except first we must determine say the president should be in camera. Why Tina? And I said why not a sub provisional a bond home by.
Okay.
A board judge na home by. Judge na they try no. And home by. Because they be asem say we be like oh judge you by Jimmy judge we no let me ye ko share judge we ko seni judge we see. In order to ensure say this such sensitive allegations are not tried in public, no, more behind the cancer seminal. So let it be heard in camera. In this case, the allegations are okay, and yes, such allegations, and yes, I said, no. I mean, allegations almost a buying sitter, no, or did two coin, not say, not case, dear. The case almost say, why in the year, no? Policeman basically be not in the case of the 10th channel. These are so the basis of the pharmacy, and I'm
yes.
That policeman case, it was in public.
Yes.
So what is it? Not CJ now say case be no or transfer judge be. Those cases were all in public. So there's really nothing which is so compelling to warrant in-camera proceedings. Now, you can say the whole nation, as I said, this is the very first time the CJ from office. This is the very first time. Let me see that. Any time the history of the nation, I might try somebody on the CJ. Supreme Court to intervene. Say, no, I don't mean their own constitution. 1980, before the Attorney General, it's because non-person media justice appeal from office. Now, Supreme Court say no. 1994, there about 1994, Canada session against Aban. And so, the Supreme Court no, Ebogui. And then a J2 against Attorney General 205. And some years justice Aquafio. Then Supreme Court Bogui. You see, some proceedings and do it this level that. You see, if there is such a situation, the very first time when the whole nation will confronted with that, I think it's about time to see who will be here. Now, I wonder what somebody will have against it. Yes, if a camera, yes, if a light, let me say we want darkness. I don't bet on me, I don't know. It's massive. You know, and because she didn't know, she's been tried in the media, she's been persecuted, pronounced guilty, when indeed she's not at all. So far, matters on Kasada. As my cousin, on Kasada. That's a medium freedom man for a man for a title. I didn't. I think last time there. They do committee now. When you know, public hearing. Or become Obiati. No. Then also, we also have an issue with President Mahama. So, yes, I have a proper facility determination. Sebi. Conform to a court, that's it. Yeah, try no. Yeah. There's a submission of no case over here. Then they do the proper facility determination. The judge will come out with a reasoned ruling. So, no, you said, sir, evidence here. Prosecution that banner. And it's never be and I share with the no has substance, and this is because of this XYZ. You call it a well-reasoned ruling, and because of that, no charges 1 to 2, no case charges 3 to 4. There's a case for you to answer. Go ahead and open your defense all the time. Answer.
And okay.
See the most of the petitions containing different allegations. Then. But yeah, also there's a case for you to answer in respect of the 3 petitions. No pay.
Okay, so man say allegations no money away and nobody tell me primary first no man say be biasa
maybe any the reasons.
Because me can say, Mami Charlotte said in the crown, committee no, Chief Justice no, share some no, or ye specific cases are, or for say primary facie woman, or cast unia, or year no.
Apart from that, President Kufuor there's a petition against Chief Justice. Obey no waste. There's no case for it, and this is the reason why. Because we are afraid if there's a match now, some part the law. I mean, the Chief Justice says so, all the time. That is what we call war reason ruling, and it's not just because that's what the law requires. I mean, President Kufuor did that in the case of Justice Sophia Kufu. Was a petition against her. He did that again in the case of Justice Yeboah. There were petitions against him. He also did that in the case of even Justice getting December before the August when there were petitions against her. See, we think that she's been unfairly treated. Apart from that, the social work, judges now, more formal committee said, you try CJ no. Two of them. Issues one. In fact, it's not two of them. That's why two judges make. Not much is asked them so. Justice Perman and then Justice Asidi. Cases now, Emma, you can follow Daniel Fury, any policeman. I think I could go so. One petition for serious removal. That case is here. Justice Perman is not to be. No my judgment in favor of Daniel Fury. Daniel Fury. And he has a grievance against the CJ because of Lisa CJ or really against him. No, Omano, for instance, putting impediments in his way to getting some money that he's claiming from the bank. But all those cases, 4 of them, Justice Perman, Emma ruling in favor of Daniel Fury. If he Edna said Daniel Fury a petition for serious removal, now the same Justice Perman will be made chairman of the committee, which will probe the allegations against CJ. So, that's I see you today. First day, the court for the case now, Supreme Court at decision 3-2. He was part of the panel. Second day, he was part of the panel. We're expecting him so whatever. After the Yare. The following day, that's as I say, President Mahama appointed to serve on the committee. Because of that, a panel will have to be changed. I think it is wrong. Because once I say, what's not such is not a foreign. And you can say, you to go and serve on that committee. Otherwise, if Sane Mrano allow, the thing is that anytime there's a case involving the government can actually influence the case by just appointing the judge to serve on the committee. Yes. Okay. So if the case is before
case be our honor president na ehwese case ni kwa ni bia mu ano a
yes
and one so what committee na wa appoint judge not so eyi na free
serve on it. That's it. See, that one when na yesu abanene or the committee members.
Okay. We are also told say mo file an injunction at the time mo yinachi. No so what are you seeking to achieve?
Oh, so before Supreme Court so be determine case no. Say holding on because I answer by the time Supreme Court so determine that already committee na you settings are and it will not be right.
If you can say one say first one I can want me say case in camera no say na wa can no all other cases a public hearing so constitution no e will reason why in here or ye we no in camera so one a written in the law clearly no it will be difficult for the Supreme Court to change it And then the other aspect is when they say ABR nipa no a ye di na asem no for say public. Now what about the petitioners? Ebi almost so no they will not want to be in public domain. How do you respond to that?
Yes, it's let me say the justice said provisional. It's in the constitution. That's number one. Number two, the rationale. And I say the reason why the war was for me it is to protect the person who is being investigated or the subject of the inquiry. So even in this case, the subject of the inquiry is okay. If I say I'm near public hearing, what should anybody have against it? Okay. Now, again, the contents of the petition this time. This is the first time I hear friends proceed this way. Come on, presidential petition 2013. And the first time. Because the first time, the Chief Justice of the day was in a wood. So then let the whole nation see. So that it will help the process. So we are saying that in this case, we're saying here, Abanakasaye, so we'll be able even hiding petition from the woman until about 6 weeks after. President Mahama, in fact, a petition, first 2 petitions, so in February 2025. It was not until the end of March, answer Okache, friends, the general public, not even the CGO, the general public, to a press statement, already press statement, say he has started consultations with the Council of State for the CGS removal. Hey, can you imagine? I mean, it's very serious. So, you are in office as the Chief Justice of the Republic. Now, when you say 6 weeks or more than 6 weeks for President, and your petition be for a removal, after the consultation of the Council of State, will I inform you? And then only to be woken up one day to a press release by the President informing the general public, say yes, they are starting consultation for a removal of the Chief Justice. I mean, I think it's the way they behaved in this matter, and your cry is so wrong.
As lawyer for the Chief Justice, what do you make of the petition before the President now? Say, Judge Foyi Omotia Semisui and one other Supreme Court judge, and a lawyer in the petition, one of the petitioners and lawyer, any judge Fona Kushia at a certain restaurant, any more. And according to the petition, they are ahead discussing the petition. Restaurant. About more attention, and what do you make of it?
Maybe I've seen it in the media. It's quite curious. I think there's a lot of controversy around this issue. If it's there and you cry. Mekai sama maybe attend during office hours, broad daylight, and I went to the office of the then acting Chief Justice.
Yeah.
Again in broad daylight. That is Dochi. Time and the guy council see some students be 499 students be.
Yes.
They should not be admitted to the Ghana School of Law. And I made an intervention. The President had written to me and said no, I should take action on it. Now, meeting as Minister for Justice, no, Mama lost in Sako School. Now, I call Justice Dochi official doing work office hours in broad daylight. And this informs hey, because opening case in the I remember so 3 days time. I mean, McCoy. Only who did this? Can you imagine that? Kuku as Professor Asari, extra articles, and now opening a sample application to the Supreme Court. Say, Justice Dochi should not sit on the matter. Because of that, Justice Dochi has to even swear an affidavit. You have to swear to an affidavit. You swore to an affidavit. I also swore to an affidavit. But, now a bass of what I argue. The deputy. I said, Yeboah. No, I agree. I mean, these are the kind of things that they do. Now, this time there's an allegation. Say, Judge is in Belu. In fact, or Supreme Court, or including Bakwana. Including the law of committee or so. Any counsel for the petitioner, I could meet your restaurant. I think that if I know credit, that is serious, but we need the it's obviously.
But is it a matter mobile person will be taking it up?
With the basis for my case, no, I'm quite clear. I'm raising the constitutional issues.
Okay.
And some investigating as who said no chroma.
The allegation that what Chrome is here and say, I didn't and a Godfred Dame and Justice Gertrude Tokonu. I found say Uncle any lawyer.
So Chief Justice no, our man is but it's Macanis and now at this time, none of what's now. When you find a lawyer.
Yes, say
number one. Number one.
Yes, so you're
all right. Okay, so number how. I mean, am I confident?
I said, as a president, based on your advice, and our president, they appointed Mahama as Chief Justice, and sign equal defending, so we are conflicted.
No. Okay, so number one, there is no basis for conflict of interest. Now, number two, CCJ, has the freedom to appoint any council of their choice. Then the third point is that, when I was at Israel as a number officer, any time I had the opportunity to speak to the public and all, I always address issues of judicial independence. Judicial independence and I've always been talking about it and all that, making statements and all. So what I'm doing now is no different at all from what I was doing. But what is actually more curious, and it's a council for petitioners. We are NDC lawyers. Very, very serious matter.
Yeah.
So, Wafa, a certificate, I said, lawyer, President Mahama, lawyer, 2020 election petition.
Yes.
Not sign or still NDC, senior NDC, the figure, lawyer, President Mahama, lawyer, 2020. The same certificate as well, apart from being President Mahama's lawyer, or a lawyer for a Daniel Fury.
Oh, okay.
Inside a Kuban case.
Okay.
Yes. In Omko a lawyer for Daniel Fury.
Okay.
And it's the same certificate who is trying to remove the CJ from office. And they're very, very wrong. That's a man for now, sorry. Only see NDC for lawyer the past 8 years. Only one of the lawyers.
In fact, or a lawyer to the Speaker of Parliament, and in himself Speaker of Parliament, and so Yama me get to talk on so Atnado Amasu Krum Hache.
Yes.
And can you imagine, say, two arms of government, Nipa ahead those arms of government, you know, lawyers, and Kabum some bit to another arm of government, leader.
And there's a Ghana for show us later. Now, back up more. Also, NDC Nipa, he was working in President Mahama's office before Mahama Elusi last time. And recently, very popular because of the activities against Ekufado. I mean, so bad. I think there's a lot of fairness and injustice worked against the woman. And as I said, it's about time that people who really have a conscience and a good heart in the country stand for what is right.
Now you heard into that case with that Benny heard him say Supreme Court be free.
I was on the filing judge, this acting justice, like case, motion on it, and so by date. It's any date, all the processes are with the acting justice. Okay. Yes, and say, no, by date and that.
Yeah, actually, lawyers, some of us are worried. Say, before say acting Chief Justice in Bebano, now there was a panel and the first case a Supreme Court. Emma Mitoko nun semi home. Also, sa panel no emo na tenaso. All the 5 cases, you say ono so and na etenaso. Ya de be a hard na a normal under your practice.
Hard say the court. The review court because when you say hard in some reason. But court says there be I don't know and this one committee this say there's a panel. Now I think just about no person panel no. Committee this and this for. Also a panel so interestingly say now the violence start saying now we really against us. So now we're not panel fight. No, society. No, or they say by 3 end up there 3-2. Yeah, anyway, because I always observe the virtues of good practice. I will just keep quiet about it. And this is why I did this our Ghana.
Lawyer, finally, Major no akono. Minim say we need a constitutional process. So, you bet me akase bia the committee investigate asemi a constitutional body. Minim say met me akana sadia. If that is so, can the constitutional body be injuncted by your injunction?
Oh, but I.
So until the determination of your injunction application, no, can the committee sit and I saw change the determination of the injunction applications?
I mean, I'll be very surprised if the committee say since no proceed. Wombra will be able to say yes, you not only the attorney but all the committee members. Committee members say yes, you are filing injunctions against all of them. That is also double continue. I'll be surprised. The number of committee, but everyone will say. If the committee will continue.
I see. Do you smell rat? We will say an umbrella in this case.
Oh, I was very. I'm too experienced a lawyer to be talking like that. and the Chief Justice will also be represented by fairly senior lawyers as well today.
Okay.
So I quote me and the could be there.
Okay. All right. Finally, there was a statement by Abraham Amaliba. Say Adentina Godfred Dame Abrea Chief Justice Yeboah no okoko to be an win case. Na akwese maame toko no fi ho ape wa sha se elusu cases. What is statement say how even even 2 days ago. 2 days ago I won a very big case in the Supreme Court. 2 days ago, a day before I filed the writ. Okay. I was the Supreme Court, a panel composed of first acting Chief Justice again, Tanku Amadou, Kulendi, Dakwasari, and Justice Kofi. Unanimously, they ruled in favor of my matter, affecting a group of people in the Eastern region. Very, very big case. Okay. So, what's the basis? Oh, I'm changing judiciary. Because this for no more or person. They accuse you, say, number some here. Who was on here? Yeah, by the San Judge, yeah, Psycho, yeah, almost they are seeking to change the Chief Justice and all that, and Sakara judges. All they know that. Are you not worried? Are you not worried as a former leader of the bar? Say we are over politicizing the judiciary. Now, it will go a long way to affect our nation, Ghana.
Yes, anytime there's a danger to our democracy. That's always started from attacks on the judiciary. And it's really worrying. The Nkrumah time issues by. It started with around 1963 when there was a dismissal of 3 Supreme Court judges. Nkrumah sacked 3 Supreme Court judges, including the Chief Justice, Akukosa. And Sibia, then there was a coup. 1969, there about 1970. This Salah case here, Omar ruling against the government, Abuja, Epoca says no court can compel the government to employ workers and all that. The following year, Omeyaku, 1980, before that change of case here, and it was almost started. Chief Justice, some Chief Justice, the Supreme Court to stop it. 1981, then there was a coup. 1982, incidentally, and this is for Moku, 3 High Court judges, and all that. That was the worst period in Ghana's democracy. 3 High Court judges, including and plus an Army General. I mean, no one will cause it. I mean, I think it's a task of the judiciary and it should stop interference with the judiciary. I cannot understand why a government, whenever it comes, almost the only way through which they can successful in court is to take control of the judiciary. They be already or some can say the judiciary prevent people before normally they want to change it. But the woman said it many times. And
okay.
I mean, even this year, I'm going to call for yes, this year, yeah. And it's obviously so they don't like to play by the rules. The court, I've never raised an objection to a judge. This one, I'm raising against Bafo. It was the very first time I raised an objection to this act. Never at all. My history, whether MPP time, NDC time, from 2003, about time, NDC, MPP time, and right through 2009 when we were opposition. I was winning all the cases. When we were opposition, I was not winning all the cases. Opposition, all the cases are handled. So why would they say, for instance, now, first the chief justice favors me and all that. It's never true.
Okay. Lawyer, and pay Yedasi, any brown.